Hey guys, it's me, Twigboy, and today, as you can not really guess, I guess, I just said that twice in a row, we are playing What Remains of Edith Finch. Yeah, I mean, it just said that in the top left, but you can't even see that. So that's what I've decided to play today. I wasn't going to break it down to different parts. I think I'm just going to play through all of it today. So we could be here for a while, so I don't know, maybe get some food, get a drink, sit down. We're going to be here together for quite some time, so without further ado, I'm hoping it doesn't get too loud. I might just turn, yeah, just a teeny bit. I might just beep, 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 beep. Without further ado, let's get into the game.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
So it's been a game that I'm actually quite interested in playing. I've heard quite a lot of good
I
things
lived
about it.
here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
I think it's gonna be quite a lot of game where I'm not allowed to talk much.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Already this game seems very
I hadn't
interactive.
been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Oh, whoa, okay. That was well done.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Do I go this way? I hope I go this way. So it might lead to about the same way either way, but...
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Hoof prints. Is that a horse? No? Yes? I don't know. Oh! Dear. That was fun, I said it was really pretty. There you go. So yeah, as I
The
said,
truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
But yeah, this game is in... I might just stop. This game has been, like, highly put out as a really good game. It's won, like, 2 awards or something. I have not seen anything from it. I was resisting the urge to just watch something about it, but I've literally watched nothing. Milton Finch missing. Well, that was something that I guess we could have missed.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Don't know, but there's a lot of frogs about. Guess we go this way.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
Jeez. This kid's been missing ages, so many flyers.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Why?
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Well, I guess we're gonna try and find the back door. But yeah, I absolutely know nothing about this game whatsoever. And I'm very intrigued. I don't know how long we're gonna be sat here for, but either way, let's hope we enjoy. Oh, okay, that's not what I intended to do.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11. The power had been turned off the night we left.
Okay, so we're not no power. That's not generally good for any type of games when you got no power. Ah, it's convenient. They left the door open.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
You better not live here. It's so messy. Oh, this is giving me just. I'm getting annoyed
Instead
from
of a
this.
family, there were just memories of one.
Jesus. For those being dirty pots, they don't look that dirty.
Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Oh yeah. Salmon apple pie. Ugh. They are quite. I mean, it doesn't seem like there would be any. What the hell? It seems like there wouldn't be any pour whatsoever.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
You would at least clean
It
up.
was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
I do like the way they're doing the. They're doing the text. It really fits well with me. That's even the right word.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Great Grandma Edie. Is that hers? Edie, yeah. Trying to see anything I can. But I mean, they're better than something going down because yeah. Well, there's either blood. No, that's wine. Okay. But like, at least tidy up before you leave. The people who are going to this house next are going to be so annoyed.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Alright, who has that without a ladder somewhere? Don't know which way I'm doing this. Oh.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Okay. Barbara Finch.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Okay, right. Thank you. I don't need that anymore. Okay. Probably should have left it on. Like a little bit of music would have done that. Anyone? Glass.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
I'm always trying to find the text. That's gonna be for Gran. I mean, there's no point. What even? Is that icing?
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Alright, so there's gonna be peepholes everywhere.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Maybe this key. Oh!
Turns out, My mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Well, the first one we'd gone in.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Why are you still crawling? I guess.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan, but I had no idea what was behind that door.
A little bedroom.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Oh yeah, you've never seen this room before. Weird. Seems very old-fashioned.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
No. No, please. I'm not in the fish either. Like, it's gotta be something else. Is that a starfish? You were dissecting a starfish? I did not like the look of that, but please don't make me pumpkin.
My Halloween candy was all gone.
Ah, no. I just...
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
Ah.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Was that it? Did we go back to bed? No. Trust not.
I kept eating and eating.
We would eat toothpaste. That noise. Is that a bird?
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
Oh, a robin? Robin?
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I
Barn
reached
swallow.
out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
What? Okay, right. This changed drastically. A second ago, he was a person. Well, hello. And,
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
well, yeah, you're a cat. But don't note to self, birds don't like cats.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
I think something's wrong with your mum and dad. Just looking at that. Just be my friend, please, Mr. Birdie. Mr. Birdie,
I
perfect.
almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
What?
I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
Please don't hurt the rabbit.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Right. A second ago, you was literally just eating your gerbil's food. What was in that food? Because you turned into a cat, now you're...
A mama rabbit.
Oh, where? Please.
She was almost too big to carry. I started
Oh.
choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Since what? Okay, looks like we need to go down this way.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
This game changed rapidly. I really don't want to do this.
I grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water.
What am I
When I
now?
opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Don't even.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet.
I think I broke the game. Did I break the game? I thought. Okay, we'll be back in a second.
When I opened my
Okay.
eyes, everything had changed.
We're back.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
I'm just saying, this game was like, I went from an old person, reliving their life. I then turned into a little girl.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Hoping this works. Yay! Fixed it this time.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Then I sat at normal. I then became a cat. Then became an owl.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
This game is getting weird.
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Like seriously, cat, then owl, then shark, and now monster. We're gonna be back in the same bathroom?
I got closer and closer.
This is my room.
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
At that point, I was just, is that a cat?
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Just don't know what to do. Well, where to? How do you get out? I'll figure out how to get out. It's not pause, I'll tell you that. Unless I'm missing something. Oh, thank God.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
I mean, this game's good. I'm liking it so far. It's very confusing, though. It's very confusing.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Oh, God.
It was a pretty big trace.
You're telling me. Yeah, another secret room. Oh God, please don't be anything super.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book. Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Okay, this is very weird. Mitten. Am I gonna turn into a cat again?
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
I love history. History's great.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Got a cast on her.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
Yeah, start with
At
the
Barbara's
person.
funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again.
This is making
And he
me feel
wasn't.
dizzy.
I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam, Calvin, dinner's ready.
Yay. Nice one.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
Eventually I'll slow down, but I can't keep looking at that. It's gonna give me a headache. No. Did no one think to help me? No. How do... I wanna get off. Why did I not think of just not doing that? Oh, ooh. Headache central. Just wait. I don't want to touch anything because as soon as I touch something, no. So I'm gonna swing higher. If I was you, I would like seriously try and just like not.
I told him going around was impossible.
Well, I was
Maybe
right.
if I hadn't said that.
Let's get that sorted.
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind.
Yeah, at this point, why would you have a swing that goes over the edge of a cliff?
That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Jesus. When you're going that high, you kind of rethink what you're doing. Oh Jesus, we're gonna do a full loop in a second. That tree's gonna break.
Today he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Well,
After the funeral,
did
Edie
we
roped
just
off
see a
Calvin from the
suicide?
room.
Or Edie roped off Calvin off. Yeah.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
God, why is this family? Ah, that looks not a lot of fun. I thought I didn't noise then. Why does this family have so many
The
secrets?
passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Do we not just want to go in here? I guess we can. Oh no, we can. I feel like I should go in here first.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought
That's
about
good.
how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Dreadful stories.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Oh, Jack here with another.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch.
Not the best thing.
As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate
Rick.
when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a
Yeah.
key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be
Oh,
back in
for
a sec.
God's sake.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box.
Okay, we're being interactive now.
And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
This is done really well.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the
And
worst.
blood. What, she's using it as a weapon. Why is Michael Myers theme playing? Yeah. Oh! I
The
think this
gang's
is off.
leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
I guess. I didn't
Old Finch rattled.
think this is a horror game.
Oh dear!
Oh dear. Oh!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well,
What
I'm
was the
not
blame? What?
scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
She has crutch.
Barb,
Why would she keep his
Have you
crutch?
seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the Late Late Picture Show.
The late picture show.
Later,
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Sorry, I feel the crutch. I'm so annoyed that I didn't know about that. But I guess we're not supposed to know. There was no need, I like that one.
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Oh.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing.
What about the kid?
He couldn't get enough of
Barbara. There's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
Why does everyone end up in Molly's room? Hide under the bed? No. Please don't tell me you're gonna get back up there.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groan. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
I am ready. Well, he's not there.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Oh, hell no. Since when was this a horror game? Ah.
Someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream.
Oh.
Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Wow.
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
At that point, we continue.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Oh yeah. Why can we touch
Whenever
this?
people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Well,
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
let me guess. Oh, there's a wire. Okay.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
Hint, hint. Ooh. Why it's got darker as well. I don't like it. Oh no. Basements are never good, especially now that it's quite scary. Everyone's thinking, you're getting scared from nothing. How many spiders is going to be down here?
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Can we have a light, please?
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Oh yeah. More story. Story time, guys.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
Blind.
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today.
Peaches.
I always expected to be dead tomorrow.
No, one by one.
But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
Every time, you'd move that away from the edge. My arm's
Even
gonna
a monster
ache after all
on the
this.
other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
Just eat the peaches normally.
And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing
The
was,
train.
it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years.
That's not my food.
I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
Even further underground, yeah. This is gonna be great.
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly. And Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it.
Where's the sledgehammer? Did you not? Why did you take the sledgehammer
I'm
with
going to
you?
appreciate all of it, especially the food.
Food. We really do
I
a
don't mind if
pizza.
I only have a year left,
Pizza's banging. What's your favourite pizza flavour?
or a month,
But like if I had to have my ideal
or a
pizza,
single week.
I'm just talking it through now.
I'd be happy with one new day.
Sure.
I can already imagine the sun on my face.
train haven't come for
Walter
ages.
died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
The train didn't come for ages, and we finally left, and the train came.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
But yeah, my favourite, I feel like I've had to pick like ideal pizza: pepperoni, ham, bacon, chicken, sweet corn, peppers. Probably something else. But you know, you can't get too greedy, you know?
Maybe she
I
was
mean, you
afraid I'd
can.
end up like Walter.
I don't know, but
But if she never told me about an
it's a
uncle
tomato
under the
puree,
house,
tomato ketchup, tomato. Ew, what? Who was tomato ketchup like that? I mean, I don't have it at all. I don't like it.
I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
Don't know, but
I
let's go
don't
get
want
hit
to
by a
make
train.
the same mistakes she made.
Why didn't you
And to
say that?
bury
So
something that's still alive.
I mean, Sludge, I want to beat train. So,
Now that there's
did
only
it
one
not
of
try
us
and move
left,
to the side?
or maybe 2. I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself
What?
and found out what happened to everyone else.
No, but okay. It's good.
But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem.
Yeah, I think.
Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Rest in peace, Walter. No, I don't think the train comes around here anymore. Oh, tree there.
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Thought she was thinking this, no, she wanted it. Wow. So it means like odd shape, but it's pretty.
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Thought they got a little monsters killed?
But I thought you should know about your family.
Thought you shouldn't. What? I'm getting confused now.
And the history you're a part of.
What I'm a part of? What have I done? You need to go there. I'd walk on that rock.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
You think?
I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
I can't say I believe that someone turned into a cat, then a shark, then an owl, then a monster, and then was just back in bed, eating gerbil food.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
I was going in there.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
Oh.
What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Oh god.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Burpee, Derpy, Derpy Jr., Chirpy, Furpy, Lurpy, Zerpy. So, Coco, Tucker, Charlie, Daisy, Lucy. Who lasted the longest? Nah, 69. 1969, 93, 2007. So it's, yeah, Charlie's the most recent. Cat. Charlie the cat. Fish. Rabbit. Oh god. Was that the rabbit kid earlier? Ah.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Molly. Calvin. Sven. Edie. Walter. Barbara.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
I don't know, it's not focusing.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Oh, so they actually rebuilt it. Ah, you didn't get that far. Do I walk back up then? Right, yeah. I mean, I'm not walking into the ocean.
Edie's side was always easier
Yeah.
for me to understand.
Oh yeah, okay.
But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't
Georgia
enough to save her
Finch.
brothers. She was
Sam
just
Finch.
trying to do better.
Gus Finch. Jesus, the death that follows this family. It's making me shiver. I might just be cold.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
2002. 2010? God, that makes me feel old. I mean, not really. It was not like
There's so many things I wish I
11
could
years
ask
ago.
my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
So, this does not look stable, especially in this condition of the house. God, you are lucky. Oh hey,
Looking back
just where
on
the
it
bed
now.
was.
If she told me there was going to be so much climbing,
Excuse me.
I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
I'm 22 weeks pregnant. Yeah, I'm sorry, but 22 weeks pregnant, I am not here. I mean, I'll never be pregnant. How many weeks did you be
I
pregnant?
never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and
Yeah,
my
she's
mom
quite
have a lot in
far.
common.
At least 5 months, so she's way past halfway. Well, not way past.
They were both pretty intense.
Well, yes! Go on, Sam, let's hear your story.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hold still while I take a...
Hey!
That's a keeper.
That's what we had to take a picture of.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa's fan. Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph?
Sorry, God.
We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map.
At this point, you have no film left. I keep looking at that. That way. It's like recording. So I'll take a picture of him.
You don't need to waste any more film on me, kiddo.
Sorry.
Or was it?
Dad!
Good eyes, Don.
Oh, there we go.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Let me get behind you.
Just shoot a deer, I don't like this.
Do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong.
Don't do it.
Now keep yourself squared up, elbows down, like we...
God,
Great
let's take a
shot,
picture.
Don!
Oh, no.
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Don.
He's gonna...
Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Karma. I don't have any. Like, I have sympathy for all the deaths. Oh, you stretch. But I
Of
do
all
not.
these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
What? Okay. Shot
Sam spent his
animal.
life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front
American
of the
game.
camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Spiders. Loneliness. Parsnips. I'm not afraid of parsnips, just don't like them. Just thought it would be funny.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Do I walk up the same way, or... Yeah, okay. No. Maybe not. Okay, now a loss. Where do we go from here? There's got to be someone else, right? There we go. Oh, more past the trees. This looks so tight.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
There was a stairgate in. That is the weirdest stairgate I've ever seen. Okay, no way. The lost contract.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like Something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Bath time's over, Gregory. It's time to...
Bath time
Hold
is
on,
not
Sam.
over.
Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he
Oh.
saw.
Come here, you.
What his world was like.
White duck. Yes. Yes.
He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination.
In the middle. Whee!
Whatever it was he saw.
I think we need to get the whale.
It sure made him happy.
Hey, bump. There you go, mate.
I know how silly it sounds. That I worried about a baby being too happy.
Woohoo!
I could feel him slipping away.
Uh-uh.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
What more? I was having fun.
Damn it.
Oh, come on.
Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us.
Oh no.
The world he saw.
No, no, no. Oh no.
Hey, there's so much I don't understand. About Gregory. About everything.
Quick.
But I know what happened wasn't your fault.
Goddamn frog.
I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
He killed the baby. Well, she didn't kill the baby. The baby drowned. That's the saddest one so far. It's only a baby. 19. It was 1. The baby was 1 year old. The baby was 1 year old. What? A 1 year old. It drowned in the bath. someone answered the phone, like,
I can't
why
imagine
would
my
you
mom ever writing poetry and
not?
yet...
Why would you stuff?
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
My writing.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom were the words that I remembered.
Just something sort of fun, okay. I think the words are back here again. No. Sorry, people. Oh, there's the words.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Ah. He flipped off his dad.
The wind picked up and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Where's the geese? Oh yeah, that's the stop. This is one strong kite.
Then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Nice little rhyme there.
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Yep.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
How old was he? 1969 to 1983. 82.
She never talked about him, but
13.
Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to
13?
name me Gus.
13. Jesus. What about Dawn? Why is Dawn empty? They put a kite up for him.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
Oh, so this is where
At
Dawn,
the time,
maybe?
it was as far away as she could get.
Dawn?
She spent a summer building houses
Yeah.
in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay. Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
I feel like there was something more up there. I feel like I missed something. There won't be something for Dawn and then not a piece of writing, I got a feeling. There we go.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later.
It's that kid. Milton.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday. When
Oh
Edie
no.
gave him a castle.
We've seen about Milton. Tiny little footsteps. What? Okay.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Oh, he went missing. So he had a magic paintbrush
I was 4 when
and
Milton
it made him
disappeared.
go missing. This family's been through everything.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Well, yeah, because he went missing. About this way. God damn it. Really pretty. I just can't get rid of the shape of the moon. This game just looks so good. Up we go.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Yeah, you constantly eat salmon. Right.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on. Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Oh.
He kept working at the cannery. But he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to...
Began to what? Into what?
Wander. asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
I'm just fixing the left side of the screen. I can't
Like a
look.
whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first.
Oh, a dog.
He told me he'd made a new friend.
Yeah, I've got a doggy.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And
Makes me
songs
so
for them to
comfortable.
play. He talked about starting a band.
Right, just start cutting the fish until.
And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him. That all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination.
Nothing wrong with
So he
imagination.
could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won.
Like Mario.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality.
He's got a strong imagination, I'll give him that.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on. In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen.
Just don't even. Any LGBTQ don't even have a go at me. Just leave it. Not for me.
The queen was on her own quest for
screw it. After what I just said, I can't go.
Sinister serpents. He followed the sound of her silver harp.
Okay. This is much better. I mean, the fish killing on the right isn't, but...
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
It's literally covering our entire screen now.
He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
His imagination
For someone
grew
who'd
too
never known
strong.
success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Oh, thank God I'm done cutting fish. My arm's starting to ache.
He began to forget the world we know.
Please stop making me cut fish.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Did I jinx myself? This is so gross. I mean, I love fish. Fish is delicious, but this is so gross. This does not put me off anything.
Despise the man with a royal contempt.
Oh, here I am.
I still thought I could save him.
Oh, I guess we're going up.
Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
So, I mean, he's not even doing it at this point.
The palace would be
Thank
packed
you.
with his companions.
Thank you. He was that unsuccessful, lost his mind and his imagination of being successful. That's pretty deep.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
What, the cat? Oh, that's Molly! Oh, Molly gets to return. Do it.
His queen waited, holding his crown.
Am I gonna get assassinated or something?
There was only one thing left to do.
Recrowned?
Bend down his head.
Well...
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Did he, like, kill himself or something?
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Rest in peace. so sad. It's the stories of death. No, I just got out of here. Let's again, shall we? Yes! Yes, we did it. Right, I think we're gonna go up here though. Well, you know, maybe I don't, you know. It's gotta have been some, just look, literally, it's up there. There's gotta be a way I can get up there. Right, there's a wooden path that way. Aha! Figured it out. No! There we go. Figured it out. Right.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
Ouch.
I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
Oh, polystyrene.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Paintings. Paintings? Pictures.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
Poor Edith. Old woman just left alone, her family just left her completely.
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now was to tell you about that last night. That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights."
Oh, Chinese.
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Oh.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
Yeah.
When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Sneaky.
The thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Yeah.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground? There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
I know it was straight on.
I got turned around.
What?
For a while, I wandered.
It was straight ahead.
I started seeing things.
Dear. Keep going straight.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
Aha, I was right.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go!
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car, and I never saw Great Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
Did she die?
She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone.
She died. Edie was right.
Last Finch left alive.
Well, your grandma could still be alive. Edie.
Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
died. Wow. Is this all real? It's based on a true story? Find the kind. Imagine losing all that family. Oh, look at the dog. Oh. Oh, he need another dog. The little play toys for the bath. Painting. It's a duck and the whale. Camera. Frog. Ask like a boyfriend used Rick. Rick was his name. Barbara. That baby. Owl. Cat. Peaches. Shoe. A shot. There you go. I know I'm just sitting through credits, but I think this is just quite nice and relaxing after everything just happened. Oh yeah, thank you. I love memory, Lewis Finch. Edith, Lewis Dawn, Edith Finch. The end. I mean, wow. Replay story. I don't know when Edith died. She was the one writing it. it was 107. I mean, Gregory, that's probably the one that hits quite hard as well, because oh jeez, who's one? Well, that does it for What Remains of Edith Finch. I mean, I thought it was a really good game. I thought the graphics were really good. It was very emotional as well. It made you think quite a lot. Although I did get very sick at the swing part and stuck occasionally and sometimes frustrated. But I thought it was a really good game all around. This is as much as I can say. I mean, I'm still impacted by it. I'll do my best. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.